How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Lake Mary High School. Tonight we have the Ussl Championship. We've got Brevard SC against Gosa, Greater Osceola. Should be a good game. These two teams were top two in the league. Gosa leading on points, but also having a couple extra games. So this should be, on paper, it looks like a really great match. I have a feeling on the field it will be as well.
Oh, yes.
So looks like the weather's going to stay away from us tonight so that we can actually get this game on time. Referees are on the field ready to go. Players are coming on the field. I'm going to try and get the Gosa players into a lineup here so I can call their names as we go. I'm going to be learning them along the way. And so Gosa will be out in black. Looks like they'll be moving from left to right. And Brevard SC in the white with gray shorts. They'll be moving from right to left.
Again, beautiful facilities here at Lake Mary High School. Great press box they have put us in. They put us in a press box with AC. So, as always, especially when you talk about this late July, early August weather, it's always great to have. I don't care what time of day.
You don't need AC.
You're right. You don't need AC.
Oh, come on.
You're right. I can afford to sweat off a couple pounds, okay?
The press box sitting up here in the sun all day.
You're right. It can be done.
I'm happy for the AC, too.
I mean, look, I do it all the time sitting out at VR Regional for Saturday all day for Suntree VR Youth Football. So I've survived without AC doing all day from 8 a.m. all the way to 4 or 6 p.m.
It's not easy if you're here in Central Florida. So it looks like Gosa will be going with a 4-2-3-1. Kind of hard to tell, but that's how it appears they're lining up right now. Could be a 4-3-3, I don't know. They're moving around, it's hard to tell. And we're underway here. Gosa starting with the ball, moving from left to right. Now I'm going to have my head down trying to get some of these names written as we go. And that red box looks like a track on the far side. And that white line goes right up against the track on the far side.
Yeah, it does.
That's a fun spot to go out of bounds on. As Gosa drives on the far side. You see the lightning there in the background. Little mishit. Oh, and a goal. Great strike. Bad first touch from Pedro, but what a finish. Right in the bottom corner. First touch, picked the ball up in the air, but caught it sweetly and right in the bottom corner. Early goal to start things off. We're only, less than 2 minutes into the first half, and Gosa's up 1-0. Brevard SC hasn't touched the ball yet. So Pedro with the first goal, probably about the minute-and-a-half mark. And Brevard SC now with the ball. Cam Jorgensen going long, trying to find Stefan Nicholas. Can't quite track that one down. And that lightning's still going off in the background, but that's about 15 miles away, believe it or not.
Well, good. It can stay. It can
keep it there.
I want to say it can stay out there all it wants.
So throw here on the near side. Headed forward. Runner on the far side, overlapping. Gosa getting numbers forward. Takes another shot from distance. Aiden McAteer with a good save. Needed to be made. That was headed to the bottom corner again. Gosa showing the muscle here.
Look, and just because he gave up the goal early, I still call him Aiden Clutch McAteer.
There's nothing he could have done with that one. That was just a heck of a shot. And Pedro taking the kick here on the near side in the corner. Good ball in, just over the head of Chandel. and McAteer will take over on goal kick.
For those of you watching from Greater Osceola, or for those of you who are cheering on Brevard SC, please, on the stream, let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. We are an interactive broadcast, and periodically throughout the broadcast, we will glance down and read out the comments and let you all feel just as much part of this broadcast as Matt and myself are. Greater Osceola parents and fans, if you notice, either we mispronounce a name or something, don't hesitate to spell it phonetically in the comments section. Mm-hmm. We want to get these student athletes' names right.
But yeah, so I just got this lineup right before kickoff, so I'm still learning their names and trying to get their positions down at the same time. We'll get them by the end of the game. Cross coming in, trying to find Gabe Shelton out of bounds. Thought it went off Fagosa, but out of bounds off of Gabe, and goal kick.
Of course, we got one of our returning viewers, Pam Jackson, says, "Let's go Brevard SC."
Wilk taking the ball up the far side. 16. Ball on the near side here. I thought that was further inbound than that, but didn't know if the player knew what line he's playing there. But it goes behind his back. Be Hayden, the right back. Richie, the right wing, sitting in front of him. Man, that Lightning looked a lot closer.
I don't know if it was the Lightning or one of the lights in here.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh.
It might have been one of the lights here in the press box.
Kwame Asante. And can't tell who that is on the far side. I think it's Timothy on the far side on that right back. Aiden Haig giving chase. Good tackle. Be a ghost to throw.
Aiden Haig, the grandson or the
son of Fiji Haig.
Legendary Brevard.
Legend in Brevard County and beyond, yes. And Theo Cox takes control of that, but then losing out. Number 20, I can't tell who that is. Salzman on the far side, I believe. Kwame Asante finding Tiago over to Aiden Haig, trying to find Gabe Shelton on the through ball. Can't get it past Wilk. And goes to taking over again. Good ball movement there. Good tackle there from Cam Jorgensen. Gets a piece of the man, but ball as well, and no foul call, but throw in for Brevard SC here.
So far through the first couple of minutes, looks like the refs are going to just kind of let the players play.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything that really warrants a whistle yet, but it is a contact sport. Although there, I guess, was the foul. The ball goes on the ground, not out of bounds.
Just to try to give them credit.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there, but. And Willick does a good job defensively, but the ball played back. And now forward, trying to find Will E. streaking down the near side here. Kwame Asante doing a good job holding them up and just kicks it out of bounds into safety. And Hayden will come in to take this throw. Finds Will E. Trying to turn on Kwame Asante all the way back, but only Gabe Shelton there. Plays Stephen Nichols. Gabe's trying to make a run down this far side, near side. Willick plays it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Hayden retrieves it here on the near side, trying to find Will E. Checking back from a striker position. Raul making a run inside, tries to get the through ball on the far side. Raul kind of blocking him there. Cam Jorgensen takes over. And Salzman coming up from his right wing position. Gabe all the way up from his striker position. Stefan Nicholas pushing ahead. Shandell controlling it with Stefan on his back. Hounding him. Great job from Stefan Nicholas, not letting him turn. Keep pushing him back towards his own corner. But then able to turn finally and clears the ball. Another good job working back from Stefan Nicholas. Nice little flick from Theo Cox. Over to Thiago. Right-footed strike. Blocked. Theo Cox trying to find Campbell on this near side.
Beautiful footwork there.
Now giving chase to Richie down this near side wing. Cam Jorgensen and Kwame Asante in the defense. Cross coming in. He's open. And head just wide. It was a great cross. Getting the cross between the two defenders. And I believe that was Pedro again with the head. Just wide.
I'm not, look, Greater Osceola is coming out with some firepower. They're coming out aggressive. And, listen, I like the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get those numbers forward. Being a threat at 3 shots now, here in the first half. And 2 on goal. And definitely making things difficult here for Brevard. As Cam Jorgensen sends this one long. Campbell gets first to it. And Thiago controls in the middle. He's got Aiden Haig. Gets the long ball. Trying to find Timothy there on the far side. He gets a cross in. Gabe Shelton's there, but can't quite get to it before Willick gets control, and Gosa takes over again, running on the far side. Left back trying to overlap. Will Lee making the run through the middle. Finding Raul. Back to Paul. But back to Aiden McAteer's hands.
I love the fearlessness of which they're playing. They don't care if they don't have numbers or not. Every one of their strikers are coming down ready to go 2-on-3 or 1-on-3
Yes.
and still put a quality shot on goal.
So the beautiful thing about 4-2-3-1 is you've got 4 kind of defensive players in addition to your outside backs, and they're really doing a good job of, on the attacking side of the field, getting those outside backs forward and wreaking havoc. So you got to count for those players, which then opens up the middle. And right now, that's where the runners are going through. That's where they're getting their shots. You got Pedro and Raul wreaking havoc in the middle, and then Will E's got to pull the center backs in because you can see his speed, his power, and I've seen his quality in his hold-up play. They're going to have those 2 center backs on him all game long. They're not going to be able to go and seek out and track runners coming up the middle. And far side again, left back getting forward. Pedro looked off sides. Good job working back from Campbell to nick that ball away from Pedro, but corner kick. And still missing a few numbers here for Osceola. Try and catch them as we go forward here. So short kick taken. Overlap, long ball in. Going to the far post. And Richie gets the head flicked on. Should have been flicked forward. Wide of the goal. It's a great cross there. I haven't been able to catch that left back's number yet. Looks like 12. Sebas. But I don't think that's right. If that is Sebas, it's not the Sebas I thought it was. And Cam Jorgensen taking the kick here. Everybody lining up here on this near side. Aiden Haig first to it. Gabe Shelton gets second ball. Played in. Gabe Shelton off his chest, but he's got 2 center backs to deal with. And that ball goes out for a corner kick. 21. Sorry. So 21 is Caden on the left back. So corner kick here. Opportunity here. Tiago taking the kick. Put this right foot through it.
Corner kicks have seemed to work well for Brevard SC, as we've seen in these playoffs.
Definitely have here. Cam Jorgensen's head's there. Heads it back. Headed clear. Aiden Haig gets it back to Tiago. Wants to send this one back in. Numbers in the box. Good header from Theo Cox over the bar. So first shot there for Brevard. And high of the mark. So Shandell did a good job to clear that first one out, but only out to Aiden Haig, who sends it over to Tiago to recycle. So first opportunity there for Brevard. Now adding some pressure here, but the ball slips out to Caden, who's driving down the far side. Numbers forward now for Gosa. Theo Cox getting back in central, opening up Pedro. Over to Richie. Couple of step overs to try and beat Campbell. Cam Jorgensen does a good job. Gets a little bit of the man, but and then kicked out of bounds. And Will E, not liking the ball, stripped away from him and goes back into attack mode to get the ball back. And Tiago does a good job just to nick the ball out of bounds and out of harm's way as Will E sends the ball over to Hayden. Back to Will E. He's driving on his left foot. Left foot into Pedro. All the way across. Chip it back in, but lots of white shirts in there, and Theo Cox clears.
He didn't get everything he wanted there on that cross.
No, and there really wasn't anybody in the area that wasn't covered. Lots of white shirts in there. It might have been better to drive to the byline, but shoot, they've scored one from that spot and another couple that were close. And Jorgensen clears that one, but kept in the midfield here by Gosa. Over to Raul. Over to Hayden. Good job from Stephen Nicholas to intercept that one. Tiago with the ball at his feet. Aiden Haig leaving it. Ball coming in. Oh, if that didn't get stopped, Gabe Shelton was in clear. Runners here on the far side. Good job from Pedro going near to the ball. Great defense from Kwame Asante. And not the greatest strike there. And Aiden McAteer eats that shot up.
McAteer, the hero of last week, with 2 strong saves.
Not misses, saves, yes.
Yes.
Gabe Shelton first to that one. Definitely the hero of the game for me. I mean, anytime you go into PKs and your goalkeeper gives you 2.
Right.
And Stephen Nicholas giving chase here to Richie. Back to Shandell. Again, the outside back, Caden making the overlapping run, putting numbers in the back, but Cam Jorgensen gets to that one. Aiden Haig, square ball, doesn't get through, but now long ball coming in, overcooked. And I don't have a number on the goalkeeper, but I got to assume that would be Tinko. That's our number 1 on the roster sheet. Gabe Shelton working back, forcing the ball back. Gosa now with the ball running through the midfield here. Raul with the ball at his feet, finding Pedro. Good run. Theo Cox does a good job to get back to him. Over to Will E, and then continues that run. Great job from Cam Jorgensen to take that ball away. Now Kwame Asante advancing from his center back position. Over to Aiden Haig. He continues his run. He's got the near side, the far side. That ball goes wide. Errant pass there from Timothy. Excuse me, I believe that's Salzman, actually. Shandell playing out to Hayden. Stephen Nicholas giving chase. Nicked away from Theo Cox, but not enough to get it all the way away. And Campbell takes over. Theo Cox overlapping here. He's got Gabe Shelton over his head on the near side here, and Shandell will take over. Gabe Shelton forces him to play it. Got the ball in the corner, giving battle. Job to keep it cleared out to Stephen Nicholas. And Tiago with the ball now. And Ghost is doing a great job just not giving any of the adjacent men any space while pressuring the ball. It's really tough to make anything happen. You kind of have to beat your man and then force movement from the player guarding the adjacent man or hit the long ball. And that's the long ball hasn't been working. And Ghost is just doing a great job with defensive pressure. Kwese gives the long ball over. That gets over Stephen Nicholas's head into Hayden. Plays it back to Shandell. Back to Kwesi. Will E. again coming back in the hold-up play. Gets a big piece of Stephen Nicholas as he loses control of the ball. And we'll have a free kick here for Brevard SC. Tiago will step over this one. We'll get some white shirts forward here. Not a bad opportunity here. Definitely not able to go direct, but wide enough we can curl this one into a good spot to get ahead to the ball. Cam Jorgensen getting forward from his center back spot. Tallest man on the pitch. Goso holding the line at the 18. Ball coming in, and Tinko eats that one up. So Richie receiving the ball here on the near side. Will E. making the near side run. Kwame Asante running with him. Shows him only the byline. Great job from Kwame Asante, not allowing that cross to come in. Gives up the corner in the process, but that cutback cross to Pedro's foot, not going to be a good thing. Stopping that cross from coming in. Great defense from Kwame Asante.
And I mean that play there sums up Asante's play throughout this entire playoffs we've been watching. He always seems to be at the right place, right time, with those key tackles or, you know, those
the interceptions he had last week were ridiculous. He had a ton of them. He read every ball perfectly. Usually playing in the outside back. Good ball in, but cleared away by Salzman. Raul turns. Good job keeping that pressure on. And just like we were talking about with Gosa, you see how tight they were to the adjacent men. There wasn't an easy pass anywhere. And then when you have pressure on, the only option is to try and go 1v1 by the man. And when you have the touch line that close to you, that's another defender, and there's just no place to go. Theo Cox now with the ball, trying to get it to Stephen Nicholas, but eaten up there by Kwesi. But Theo Cox does a good job tracking Kwesi back, and now we're on the attack. Oh, somebody should have told Aiden he could turn there. We had opportunities going forward. And now Timothy driving on the far side. Intercepted and not out of bounds. It's hard to see where this line is over there. I guess it's a blue line, and I can't even see it.
I can just vaguely see it.
So if I say the ball's out of bounds on the far side, don't listen to me. I'm lying. Unless it hits that track, I'm lying. Good job continuing that run.
Asante again.
And Jordan, the left wing, finally got his number. So back to Hayden. Finding Richie. Will E. The good touch and turn. And there's that left back getting forward again, now getting central. And Tiago receiving the ball here in the midfield. Back to Campbell. Intercepted. Pedro over to Richie. Good strike, but over the bar. So 5 shots, 3 on target here for Gosa. By my count, anyway.
Paul Thomas says it's a soccer weekend extravaganza.
Watched Chelsea play Fulham earlier today. That was a fun one to watch.
We were talking on the way over.
Not sure what else was going on here today in the soccer world. But
I know
a couple other British Premier League games. But anyway, sorry.
I know you were saying yesterday Orlando City had a
big win. Yeah, a big win last night, 3-2 in the closing minutes of that game. Get the winning goal. Ball come across here trying to find Campbell, overlapping down here on this near side. Yeah, so Orlando City will be playing Miami. They'll have to get a hold of Messi in Miami here next week, I think it is. Throw in from the track from Campbell. Kwame Sante receives with his chest. Thiago takes over in the midfield. Ball coming in, trying to find Timothy on that far post. He gets a foot to it, but over the bar. And it was a great ball in from Campbell. That was a long ball, seeing Timothy making that run from deep. And somehow it gets over Wilk, just over him, but I think, you know, there was enough distraction there from the defense to give the errant strike there from Timothy. Caden now attacking again from that left back position, underlap. Good interception there from Aiden Haig, finding Gabe Shelton, and they're off 4v2 if they go for it, but errant pass. And Chandel wins that one. Raul turns Gabe, and now he's running in. Richie and Campbell battling here. Nice little cut back. And Campbell now running down the near side. He's got Nicholas here with him, but can't get it past. Hayden keeps running, now finds him. Trying to find Gabe Shelton on the near side, and the goalkeeper's going to get to that one. Aaron Touch almost sent that one out for a corner, though. It was great play from Campbell. The little chop cut from Richie almost sent both of them to the ground, but luckily Campbell able to keep his feet. Now Thiago with the ball at his feet. And foul called. Second foul of the game. Thiago gives the ball up to Kwese and over to Raul. Out to Richie. And all the way back. Chandel over to Wilk. Out to Caden. Back to Wilk. Long ball in, but that's gone right to Aiden McAteer. And Kwame Asante driving from his center back position. Wants people moving. Nobody's moving. All the way back to Cam Jordanson. And not a lot of movement. Theo Cox with the ball now. And Timothy trying to get forward and overload the far side there to even up the numbers on that back line, but as he dropped back to help out in possession, the ball just fades out of bounds. Pedro now with the ball over to Chandel. He's got Hayden running on this near side. Campbell's picking him up. Good block there, but makes it right back to Gosa feet. Good running from Pedro. Finding Will E. And again, nice interception for Kwame Asante, who now runs forward from that center back position. He gets fouled. Referee says play on. And Tiago with the ball at his feet. Back to Campbell. Got runner on the far side if they can reach him with the long cross here. And intercepted there from Raul. Intercepted back from Theo Cox. And now the ball switches and Cam Jorgensen drives. Drives past one. He's trying to find Gabe Shelton, who actually was just in an offside position, even if he did get that. Theo Cox, good interception there. Over to Aiden Haig. Theo Cox continuing the run. Numbers forward now. Trying to find Stephen Nicholas, but another Aaron touch there from the goalkeeper. Puts himself in trouble. That looked like he was out. That was a goal. That was the cross line, not the 18-yard box, right? I can't tell the line. I can't even see the lines, so I can't imagine trying to be a goalkeeper judging him. And Gabe Shelton trying to cut on the near side, and Shandell gets in front of it. Gabe working back. Aiden Haig over to Tiago, excuse me. All the way over. Oh, Aaron touched there, the high boot, which will be called. Yeah, Stephen Nicholas, little bad touch and tries to correct it with the high boot. Foul called. Nice, beautiful little rainbow there in the background. Willett gets forward over to Caden, who's spent most of this game in the attacking half of the field. Driving in is Jordan. Over to Will E. Kwame Asante gets first to that one, a little extracurricular after. But good job again from Kwame reading that pass into Will E., not letting it get to his feet. Jordan over to Caden. Shandell. Forward out of the center back position. Brevard sitting deep. And Shandell gets through one and finds Richie, who makes a cross, but Cam Jorgensen gets to it. Pedro with a nice strike. Campbell does a good job shielding. And again, not much opportunity to go forward as Raul cutting off the pass. And now Stephen Nicholas running. And Hayden with a hand on the shoulder. And I think that's Kwese maybe got a touch. I'm not sure which foul was called, but about the only way to stop Stephen Nicholas is to foul him usually. And Theo Cox with the ball. All the way back to Aiden McAteer. Pedro getting forward, putting the pressure on here. It's opening up in the middle of the field, though. And Kwame with the errant pass, and we'll have a Gosa throw.
I think the biggest difference you're seeing between these two teams right now is Gosa is executing those longer passes, whereas Brevard, they may execute one, but then the next two are errant.
And there's really good movement in the attacking end. They're doing a lot of really quick give-and-go passes, which is how they've been getting their opportunities there in the middle. And our passing, trying to hit these through balls, and they're just cutting off the passing lanes. Now Aiden Haig over to Campbell. Middle of the field opening up here. The far side was open as well, but Caden looked like he was going to sniff that one out if he tried to make that. Cam Jorgensen. And Caden does sniff that one out. Finds Will E. isolated with Kwame Asante. Now numbers getting back for both teams. Cross coming in. Nobody with Pedro. Takes a touch. Not much of an angle here. Now improves the angle. Great stop from Cam Jorgensen. tries to find that long ball. Gabe Shelton tries to get to it. Good little dummy turn from Quessy over to Shandell. Long shot and long over the bar.
Nice. Yeah. Just saying, he had some nice form. I think some NFL teams could use him as a nice little kicker.
That was 3 points right there.
Sure.
Exactly.
And look, that was from 35, 40 yards out. So I mean,
but that ball's round. It's a little easier to kick than that oblong stupid thing that they play with.
I mean, you're right. But as far as form and technique wise, he had it lined up, leg straight.
Where do you think the best kickers come from?
Oh,
proper football.
I have never doubted that.
Cam Jorgensen going to put his foot through this one. And looks like Quessy got a hold of that one first. And out of bounds. It'll be a Brevard SC throw.
So, yeah, in the NFL, the best kickers have come from proper football. The best punters have come from Aussie rules football.
Quite a few soccer players, too, though. Cam Jorgensen drives all the way to the far side. Aiden Haig cleans it up. Back to Cam. Gabe Shelton making a run. Cam looking like he wanted to pull the trigger on it. Aiden Haig now with the ball. Just going to take the short pass route up the field. But again, Ussl doing a good job of taking off the passing lane. Stephen Nicholas with a good touch, but yeah, foul called on that one. Shandell got the ball, and then Stephen goes over his leg. I'd say Brevard's lucky to get that call.
I was going to ask you, I'm like, I didn't see much in that, but, maybe there's.
He made a tackle. He got ball. Stephen ran over his leg. Honestly, I didn't see a foul there. And I think that's Quessy arguing the same argument I am with the referee right now. Actually, it's Richie.
But very rarely does arguing with the referee.
It ain't going to help. It ain't going to help. All it's going to do is get him to show you a card. And it looks like
as the team last week found out when half their team's corralling a referee over a call.
Yeah. I mean, in that situation, I'd probably make sure that he knows that I think it wasn't a foul and give him a little thought. As Thiago goes over this one, goes direct. Oh, what a hit. What a save. Thiago put that right in that far top corner, and a wonderful save there from Tinko to stop this game from being 1-1.
And the thing about that save was if Tinko doesn't time that just right, that's a goal. That's one you got to time it just right to get just enough on it.
And from here, he looks like he's like 5'8", 5'9". I didn't think he could reach that. I mean, he looks like a shorter goalkeeper, and to get all the way up in that top corner, he's got ups. So Thiago went direct on that one. This corner kick, he's going to push this one in. He's got Cam Jorgensen, Gabe Shelton, Stephen Nicholas, and Salzman all sitting in there in the box. Goes near post, nobody home, but cleared out, but right back to Thiago. He's putting this one back in again. It looks like that went out for a throw.
Yes.
Just off the flag. So certainly the best opportunity for Brevard SC right there. That was a heck of a strike there from Thiago. I figured he was going to launch one in for a header, but what a strike. All the way back here to Cam Jorgensen. He plays a long ball in. Stephen Nicholas is there. And goal kick. I don't know if Stephen got a foot on that or not, but.
I think it's number 21 or 23 down there.
Shandell, 23.
Shandell doing an excellent job shielding there. And
good ball. Another nice little touch there from Pedro. Sorry, that's Raul. And that ball's coming into Aiden Haig. Again, they've got numbers back. Seems like every time we have an opportunity to attack, their outside backs are actually back, not forward. We haven't had a chance to catch them out on the counter.
I think part of that just has to do with the speed they have. They are a quick team.
Well, and they're keeping those two midfielders back. So even though you've got outside backs getting forward, they're holding their midfield two back so that they're not able to get that counter. And Campbell, who's coming back from his forward position, and what a run there from Jordan. But the ball gets just in front of him. Richie puts that one just in front of him. And that would have been one heck of a scoring opportunity if he gets a foot to it. All he had to do was touch it, and it could have been right by Aiden McAteer.
That would have been one of those. Aiden would have had to just guess the right way and hope he can get a hand on it.
Yeah, I mean, you hope it hits you because that's the only way you're stopping that.
Yep.
And Kwame over to Campbell. Tiago trying to find Gabe Shelton, and Shandell again getting in front. Campbell finding Tiago, back to Theo Cox, over to Aiden Haig. Good 1-2 touch passing here from Brevard now. Finding Gabe Shelton, who flicks it on to Aiden Haig. And that one's just too narrow. Stephen Nicholas had it, but it had to be a little more diagonal into the corner run or pass for him to get onto that one, and goalkeeper eats that one up. Gosa takes over. Jordan coming back from his left wing position, inverting with Caden. Now Stefan's got the ball at his feet, driving, and same thing. He gets his foot to it, and that's Kwesi that time arguing the same argument with the referee.
And that earns him a yellow.
The referee looked like he was signaling a little bit of a push there as he touches the ball, so certainly that would warrant the foul. And then Campbell now with the ball here on the near side, but goes to everybody back. Good pass in, trying to get skirted past to find Gabe Shelton, but cleared out, but only to Tiago. Long ball over, not over. And Salzman trying to find Timothy on the far side, and again, just can't corral it.
Nearing the 40th minute.
That ball comes across the goalkeeper's. Had some errant touches here this game. I'd be pressuring him at this point. And Gabe Shelton just not letting him come to the near side, across the far side. That's a good pass out to Hayden, who's got room now. Over to Richie. Intercepted by Tiago. Gabe Shelton gets touched to it, but Kwesi gets back, and looks like Gabe stepped on his foot. And be a Gosa throw. Or excuse me, Gosa free kick. And that's what I was talking about. You see, Hayden gets forward from the right back position. They have an opportunity to counter, but the midfield's sitting in there holding up, so they have the extra defender back still. So you never know which way they're going to attack from. And again, the far side, now you have Caden overlapping. And Jordan now dropping to receive. And there's your holding midfielder, Kwesi, sitting back. And into Richie. Stephen Nicholas defending. Kwame Asante does a good job to nick that one away. And Campbell's got the ball. He's got an opportunity to move forward. Numbers forward. Good job there. Good tackle, but it's only going to find Stephen Nicholas, who's driving. Shandell gets a nice tackle. Gets a hand to his back. And you see the speed there from Shandell, because I've never seen anybody pace with Stephen Nicholas, and he just blew past him. And granted, Stephen had the ball at his feet, but Theo Cox trying to keep the ball there. Tiago and Campbell in the same space. Cross coming into Gabe Shelton, can't get a foot to it. Almost gets inside of that post, though. That was really close. One little touch, and that's inside the post, and Gabe just couldn't quite get a foot to it. Another good opportunity there from Brevard.
But going back to that play Hayden made, it wasn't an out of control run. He's very controlled. Even with that closing speed, he's controlled and was able to affect the play there.
Shandell, yeah,
Shandell, my bad.
Yeah, he's done a really good job just keeping everything in that center of their back line in check. And showing that speed and the strength to get in front of Gabe every time the ball comes forward. He's able to get in front, which it can be a very dangerous play because you get in front and the ball gets by you, he's in. But he's been very confident in his touches to keep that ball away from the striker.
I was going to say,
nice turn there from Queasy.
You and I have been watching a lot of soccer over the years, and how many times have we seen that, the Viera Hawks soccer team capitalize off of something like that?
Absolutely. And another good run here from Willie. He's in. Nobody tracking that run. And that's Kwame Asante just diving, trying to get something in front of it. And Aiden McAteer right in his chest.
The only goal of the game scored about a minute and a half into the game.
Yeah, Pedro with a nice strike, all popped up. And he was able to get a good foot to it.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know how the game's not stopped after that lightning.
Well, that lightning, I think it's further away than you'd think. We're sitting up pretty high, and we can probably see with the visibility we have out here maybe 20 miles, which is probably about 15 is where that lightning came from. And another errant pass. Salzman's not able to get forward to get to that one. And Adrian Moreno having some words with him, telling him he wants him to make that run. Gabe Shelton not letting the ball go back initially, and Willett gets forward, so he had the angle, and now he's got Richie on a run on the near side. He's got Hayden here, square. And now that pass to Richie opens up. Good little flick around the corner into Raul. Over to Pedro, takes a heavy touch. And Theo Cox eats that one up. Tiago Perez takes over. And I think Tiago's a little drained. Can't keep his feet. Cam Jorgensen hits that one out, and Tiago's still down on the far side. And the referee blows the whistle. Looked like he twisted his knee a little bit as he went down, his left knee. And with that, that'll be the end of the half. Gosa with the strike from Pedro to about a minute and a half is the difference in this game. 1-0 Gosa over Brevard SC. Second half action coming here in just a minute.
All right, we're all gonna take a drink and get ourselves ready for second half action. We'll be back in about 15 minutes right here on the Brevard Sports Network. One. Welcome back, everyone. Second half action getting set to kick off. Caleb Brown and Matt Shelton here for USSL Championship. Second half set to begin.
Had a little bit of a light show there
Yeah.
in the background. Here goes again. But by just looking at the radar, looks like it's probably about 12, maybe 15 miles away.
Is that good for you? All right.
And we do have one change for Brevard. Smalls in for Salzman on the right wing. And haven't detected any changes yet for Gosa. See if we can catch him on the fly here. Just peering out at the field. I don't see anybody jumping out at me as a new player. Don't see any new numbers, but so we got 1-0 here. Gosa over Brevard SC. Difference in the game, a minute and a half strike from Pedro. Great strike right in the bottom corner. And I'd say Gosa's had the better chances of this game, but Tiago, with an incredible free kick, put one right in the top corner, and the goalkeeper reached up and snagged it. Knocked it over the bar. And otherwise, we'd be sitting here 1-1. And again, good intercepted pass there from the defense for Gosa as Kwame Asante takes over here. Trying to find Smalls. It's his first touch of the game. All the way back to Kwame. Drives by one. Continuing down the far touchline. Into Aiden Haig. Trying to get it to Stefan Nicholas. He just nicks it back by his defender, but can't quite get back to it. And Smalls nicks the player as he goes by, and I think we're going to have a foul called there. And free kick here for Gosa. Yep. And Gosa doing a good job here spreading this field, making Brevard defend it all. And then just keeping Kwese holding up the middle of the field for them. And Jordan now with the ball at his feet. Caden overlapping from the left back position. Jordan driving now. Finds Will E. Dropping deep to assist with the possession. Good run from Pedro, but gets by him. Stefan Nicholas over to Aiden Haig. Trying to find Smalls up the middle. Looks like Smalls is actually in the striker position, and Gabe Shelton's moved to the right wing. Good step again from Kwame Asante. Really doing a good job of just reading every pass for the past 2 weeks in that center back spot. Been liking him there. Smalls applying the pressure. Gabe Shelton's got to track the run on this side. He's open and through now. Offsides. Back line doing a good job recognizing that run and pushing forward and turning him into an offside position. So, I mean, at this right back spot, the left back spot with Caden just getting forward. As I said, he spent most of the first half in the attacking half of the field. That run's going to have to be tracked or cause problems. Back to Kwame Asante. And Jordan does a good job to read that one and gets first to it as the lightning flashes across the sky in the background here. And out of bounds, that'll be a Gosa throw as that one goes off Timothy's head. Queasy now with the ball. Raul. All the way over here to Caden. Excuse me, Wilk. And Gosa just finding space and then rotating into the vacated space by the defenders. Back to Raul, trying to find Richie on the run. That'll go out for a goal kick. And good movement with the ball, and then that assisted by good movement off the ball. Like I said, every time a defender vacates a space to chase a runner, somebody rotates into that vacated space and then receives the ball. Now attacking the far side, Richie finds Pedro. Left-footed strike. Good save from Aiden McAteer. And clear it out. Gabe Shelton gets to it. It's going to roll out of bounds, though. So another good strike from Pedro to open the half. Puts it on frame. Makes Aiden McAteer make a save. Now Aiden Haig retreating back to get this one. Over to Tiago. He's trying to find Campbell on the underlapping run, but intercepted. All the way out from Jordan. Caden making the run. Timothy does a good job shielding on that. And I'm not sure if he was trying to find Cam Jorgensen or Aiden McAteer, but gives up the corner kick in the process.
You got Ramel Stewart saying, "Let's go Gosa." Hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
A little repetitive there, isn't it?
Huh?
Go Gosa?
Go Gosa.
Gosa on the corner kick here. Good ball in right at the 6. Will E tries to flick on the header. Goal kick. Cam Jorgensen standing over this one. Trying to find Gabe Shelton's head. He's first to it. But Jordan with the second to. Gabe retreats and tries to get to the ball. But Gosa takes over. All the way out to Hayden. Queasy does a good job to find Raul on the far side. And Aiden Haig, seeing the open man, able to retreat, get ahead to it out of bounds, and we'll have another Gosa throw. So Hayden with the ball in his hands. Richie doing battle with Stefan Nicholas. Theo Cox, a little bit of body on Richie, and Richie goes down and draws a foul.
Just a little bit of body.
All the way across here. Into Caden. Caden's got the left foot through the ball for the cross, trying to find Will E. Over his head. That'll be out of bounds for Brevard throw. That was a good opportunity. Maybe 4 inches away from being a really good opportunity as it just misses Willie's head. Theo Cox first to it, but Gosa with the second ball. Losing out, though. Contact, no foul called. Little tight play on that far side, out of bounds. It'll be a Gosa throw. Played in here to Shandell. Smalls giving chase. Over to Caden. Back to Willick. Runner in. Gets Pedro making the streak in. Willie shielding Kwame Asante, and Kwame goes down, holding his face. I don't know why the referee isn't. I guess he did blow the whistle. Looks like Willie just kind of backed into him. I don't know if it was an elbow caught him or just the shoulders, but backing into Kwame Asante as he's shielding. And I haven't heard a signal for a foul, but should be a drop ball.
And you know, we're Brevard Sports Network, we don't show injuries, but from what Matt and I can see, the Brevard SC players, everyone I think is acknowledging, hey, look, I think that was just a accidental shot.
Yeah, I didn't see anything cynical in it. You know, Willie, like I said, was just kind of shielding and a little bit taller than Kwame. Maybe just got a little shoulder blade or a spine to the nose or something like that. But he seems to be all right walking off the field now. I imagine he'll be on in a second. And Kwame Asante heading over to Coach Adrian Moreno. And he's in front of the bench now. Maybe a little bit of blood he's got to wipe off before he can come back to the pitch. It looks like that's what he's doing. Just a little blood in the nose maybe. Gets rid of that. He'll be back on. And a substitution for Gosa coming onto the pitch is number 6, Melvrick. Didn't see who went off yet. And
It'll
be out of bounds for a Gosa throw. And I don't see, I guess he came on for Raul, number 8. Goes to throw here. Finding Willick. Melvrick with his first touch of the game. Under pressure from Smalls all the way back to the keeper. Good job from Theo to get to that one, but Jordan works back and is able to nick the ball back to Melvrick, and Gosa takes over again. Pass, Jordan cuts infield. Receives it from his left wing position. That's a good ball movement, or good movement off the ball. You know, opening up passing opportunities here for Gosa. And there comes again. Driving down the field. Pedro now with the ball at his feet. Numbers forward. Caden with the left foot puts the cross in. Shot wide. Another great opportunity. You see, you know, Gosa just keeps these little passes, 1 and 2 touch passes, give and goes, keep moving forward. If a player moves to track to put pressure on the ball, they just keep running and running past. It's very simple play in soccer, but you have to have good, crisp, effective passes to do it. And that was not an example of one. And we'll have Gosa take over again here on throwing on the near side. And it seems like they really want to get the ball over here to Caden and get those crosses in. And, you know, Kwame Sante's done a great job with Willie all game, but I think they're trying to find him as a target on those crosses. As Jordan takes the ball, trying to find a way to turn. Just gives it back to Willick, who switches. And then wing on the far side comes into that open space. Jordan now with the ball driving down the wing. Caden overlapping. Gabe Shelton knocks it out of bounds, and we'll have a Gosa throw. Good job from Tiago to receive it, but ooh, that one goes out. I'm not sure if that's going to be a corner kick signal. I think Theo was trying to put that off of his toe behind him and just didn't quite get it. And another substitution coming in here for Brevard SC.
Coming off is number 17.
Yeah, so Tiago looked like he was gassed a little bit there in the first half. And looks like Gene coming on for him. Some fresh legs in the midfield. Keep chasing after those players as they're rotating through. Yeah, pretty much right as I predicted. About 15 minutes in, Tiago was going to be coming off. Jordan makes a nice drive. Theo Cox gets good pressure on him, able to nick it away. But he comes back at him. And Theo can't quite get it past, and Pedro takes over. Finds Melverick. Drive here from the center back. Shandell with a nice strike, but right at Aiden McAteer. Long ball. Good touch there from, I believe that was Willick. Jordan back to Caden. Back to Quessy. And Will E. doing his work, working back into the possession too. Now long ball in. Trying to find Pedro on the run. Cam Jorgensen gets first to it. All the way back to Aiden McAteer, who clears out of bounds. And we'll have another Gosa throw. Another substitution here for Gosa. So number 20 coming onto the pitch.
Comes in for number 2.
Yeah, Hayden coming off. I assume that's Caleb because he's the only player they didn't give me a number for. So I'm going to call him Caleb. It may or may not be Caleb. But he's Caleb on this broadcast. Sorry if I got that name wrong, but I don't have a 20 on my sheet. So free kick here, long ball in. Caden takes over here on the near side, over to Jordan. Into Will E, who had space. Kwame Asante closes the gap. Opportunity here. Good job for Cam to get in front of that and make the block. Jordan getting onto his left foot, crosses it in. Cam gets to that one again. Aiden Haig up into it, winning it. The Smalls fouled, and we'll have a free kick here for Brevard SC. And Aiden, looking forward, trying to find someone in the counter, and the striker, the Smalls there, working back. And now we've got a runner here. Good defensive play. Out of bounds. It'll be a Gosa throw. Yeah, and Aiden, I think it was Aiden Haig, was streaking in there in the middle. Able to play without pressure here, just finding easy passes. Now pressure comes from Aiden Haig. Up a goal, they're not going to rush things, but take over, and Gabe Shelton comes through. He's got a runner on the far side. Timothy here with the ball at his feet. Gets the cross. Looks like it took a little deflection. And then nicks it past, and Jordan's in. Numbers up for Gosa as they all move forward. Timothy does a good job working back from his, getting forward from the left, right back position. And Gabe Shelton with a bump of the shoulder, and then it causes the errant pass. But strike. Ooh. That ball hit the line and came out off the top, off the post. Offsides is the call. And more players coming in here for Brevard SC. It's like 15, 21, and 30. So Franco Scotto coming in.
7 going out. Timothy going out.
So Franco going for Timothy. And I believe that's Calderon coming in. Oh, he's going to take up the holding mid position. Did Theo Cox come off? Oh, yeah. Theo's off. Cam Jorgensen with a long ball. Headed wide, and then that speed. Almost took that speed into the track. That could be a yellow card there.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And Calderon now with the ball at his feet. He can strike it. Didn't get all of that one, and that one goes wide. So Gabe Shelton was also subbed out here on the right side. So Smalls moves to the right. And number 30 into the striker position. Good job to nick that one. Aiden Haig getting forward. Gets a strike. Took a deflection. They didn't see the deflection. They gave it a goal kick. Everybody saw it but the referee and his assistant referee. But goal kick. Lots of arguments from the stands here. Nothing's going to change it. Goal kick. Screams for VAR. We could show the replay.
Not without ending the stream, we can't.
No. Might be worth it. So goal kick here for Gosa. And so 2 shots here in the second half for each team. Both on goal for Gosa, none on goal for Brevard. Long ball in. Will E shielding and then knocks one long out of bounds. That'll be a Brevard throw. Campbell with the ball, and actually I guess that's Kwame Asante, sorry, with the ball in his hands there for the throw-in. And it looks like we'll have some additional Gosa substitutions. Jordan coming off. See if I can catch this player coming in here. Number 7, that's Shosi.
Shosi drips it back. Pass received by Shosi, dumps it off.
Slide tackle there from Smalls.
Brevard now on the counter.
Yeah, I'd give that race to Stephen Nichols most times, but Shandell's got some wheels. Good step there. He's in. Goalkeeper out. He's got to chip him. Tries to go around him. Good job, but the keeper is out. Aiden Haig. Opportunity here. The goalkeeper now in. Over to Smalls. Franco overlapping. Head. Oh, just over the bar. What a scramble from Gosa, but able to recover and get out of that one unscathed. Franco's making the overlapping run. He wanted the ball. I mean, Aiden Haig got shut down immediately. Took a poor first touch and then got shut down immediately.
Yeah.
Had he been able to make a really good touch, open goal was there, or maybe even hit it first time. It really wasn't in a good body position to hit it first time. And Gene tried to round the goalkeeper. All he really needed was a little chip.
Yeah.
If he could have recognized that goalkeeper out. I mean, easier said than done, obviously, but the opportunity was there.
I want to say, but that's the thing is when the goalie comes out, you got to at least have one good shot with him out of goal.
And that one runs out. And Shoshi still without a touch. I know I'm butchering that name, and I apologize, but Franco with the long throw, finds Aiden Haig. Cleared out by Chandel. Good touch there from Will E. over to Pedro, but Pedro can't find him back. And that one's in onside. 2v1 in there. Pedro and Will E. strike over the bar. Great opportunity there. Will E. and Pedro 2v1 in on Cam Jorgensen. Pedro gets his left foot onto it, but over the bar. And good pass, but nicked away by McClurick. That ball nicked away. It'll be a throw from about the same spot. Calderon gets a piece of it. Cam gets a piece of it. Through ball. Overcooked just a little bit for Pedro. Kwame probably has him beat by a couple of yards in a foot race. So I don't think even if that thing was lighter, he was getting to it. So 1-0 here. Gosa over Brevard SC.
As we approach the 71st minute.
Good job from Gene to get to that ball and out-muscle the opposing player. And Campbell now driving down the far side. He's got numbers in the middle. Ooh, ball stays in. Good cross to Cam. Cam's got room to drive. Now Pedro steps in. Nicks it past him. Tripping over a seam in the carpet there. Gene does a good job to track back. And just too many numbers getting forward for Gosa, and goal scored. You just see everybody tracking back, everybody trying to cover numbers, and there was just one more player than they could cover. As I can't see who that was on the far side. I got to think it was, I don't know who it was. I don't have.
Everyone's iPod.
Let's see if I can catch a number here. But it was a great counter.
I think number 10.
Was it 10, Pedro?
I
Okay, he was all the way on this side, and somehow he managed to get to the other side and run in. That's why I didn't think it was him, because he was coming from the other side. But, yeah, just one more man than they could get to. And that'll be Pedro's last touch of the game. And he's off the pitch. See if I can catch the number of the player coming in. So 2-0. Goso over Brevard SC. Pedro with both goals. And number 19 coming on for Pedro. And that's Nas. It looks like Nas will take over on the left wing. And move Shoshi into the middle.
And that's a handball.
So Brevard will take over the free kick right at the edge of the 18. Need some urgency, down two goals here.
Look, I think if Brevard's going to come back, they need to score at least one more goal by the 82nd minute.
That's the thing about soccer, as we've seen in the past. Anything can happen at any point in the game, but
yes,
you certainly want to try and nick that goal early.
Yes.
Nick it right now if you can, right? And Franco working back, trying to get into an attacking position here, and then we're having to work back as Gosa takes over. And not a lot of pressure here. Gosa's not in any rush to get the ball forward. As I say that, the long ball comes into Will E., who plays a nice one over to Shoshi. And good defensive stop there on the far side. Cam Jorgensen, nice little L move to get by. Calderon over to Campbell. Lots of legs tied up there, and the foul's called. And we'll have a free kick here for Brevard. So Kwame Asante standing over this one. Numbers getting forward for Brevard. As I said, need to have a little urgency here, so pushing this one forward would be a good thing. Trying to gain some space here. And Kwame sends this one in. Nice header. Flicked on. He was not offsides. Shandell was holding him on in my book, but offsides is the call. So Gosa take over again here. Not in any rush. Looks like Will E.'s been subbed out. And Angel M comes on for Will E. As Gosa works the ball through the midfield. Nice pass on the outside on that overlapping run. But Aiden McAteer takes that one. Kind of nicked away as he was trying to cross the ball in. And just trickles into Aiden's hands. And again with the little L move, but got that one nicked away. Headed back to the goalkeeper. That one's just going to make it into the box. And Gosa looking to get forward now. Caden over to Melbrick. All the way back to the goalkeeper. I figured he'd sit there and hang with it for a minute, but plays it right out to Shandell. Long ball in. Cam Jorgensen gets to this one. He's driving. He's got Smalls on the right. Lots of black shirts back, though. They're not giving up the counter. And Caden gets touch on that one, and Gosa takes over high up the pitch. Nas looking for help. Back to Melbrick. Fresher legs on the field. He's doing some running, doing some work in the midfield for Gosa. Melverick back at the ball at his feet. He's got room to drive now. Over to Nas. Wants to hit that right foot. Finally does. Cam Jorgensen's going to feel that one in the morning.
Yep.
Gene with the ball. Playing the ball long. Looks like they've moved Chandel over to the right back position now. Use that speed to get him forward. Nas trying to make the run. Cam Jorgensen able to eat that one up. Small's making the run. Aiden Haig was as well, but well read by Willock. Again, the overlapping run on the far side. That pass overcooked. Brevard throw. Another substitute coming in. Aiden Haig will exit the pitch. And Abreu coming on for Brevard.
As we now approach the 81st minute of the match.
So throw in. Kwame Asante headed on. Calderon working forward, applying the pressure. Over to Franco. And Abreu can't quite get a hold of it. Goes to driving now. Overlapping run there. This one gets to his feet. And as Brevard SC retreats deep in their own territory, Gosa just drops it in here behind their, ahead of their line, and able to possess and run some clock off. Really only one man high up the pitch. Now Small's coming up the pitch as well. Pressure's going to have to be applied, even though Gosa doesn't seem to mind pushing the ball forward. And Nas with that big right foot, another strike, but right at Aiden McAteer. We saw his first strike blasted. That one didn't quite have the pace that the first one did, but right in Aiden's hands. Now some pressure applied. You see Brevard pushing the back line forward, getting a higher line of confrontation with 4 forward, trying to force the pressure high up the pitch. Long ball headed, but Kwame Asante will take this one. Plays it forward, but right into black shirts. And now black shirts driving with even numbers. Kwame able to get that one over to Calderon. And Cam Jorgensen over to Kwame Asante. Into Gene, back to Kwame Asante. Right into Gene, can't get it by and up the line. He was trying to push a long ball through. Overlapping run again, cross coming in. Caden with the ball at his feet. Back to Nas. Not going anywhere with that. And 3 sitting back in defense on 1 for Brevard. Not an easy way to counter. Finding that run on the far side, but overcooked that one as well. Ghost has done a really good job of making those runs on the outside, and even on those long balls, able to find that run and wreaked havoc with some crosses today. Cam Jorgensen will be over this one for the goal kick. Got 3 forward. Even numbers back, and we do have another substitution here coming on for Gosa. Number 14 coming onto the pitch. That's Tylon. Taking over for Caden. Out of bounds for another Gosa throw.
You know, if your Gosa, at this point you're getting, you're up 2-0. You're getting some fresh legs in there, and players that may not have gotten a lot of playing time, but now you figure you're in a position where.
Well, I mean, it's a championship game. They're still going for it, and I kind of like the way they're playing. They're not changing anything. They're playing exactly the way they played the first half and the first part of the second half. And one of the most dangerous things you can do in soccer is get complacent with a 2-0 lead, and we've seen it. And that 2-0 lead is the most dangerous lead in soccer, they say, because you're up 2, you think you're in great shape, and then the other team nicks a goal, and now they've got the momentum right into potentially the second goal to tie it up. And I kind of like that they're not changing the way they play and coming right at Brevard, because honestly they've been able to get the better of Brevard doing that, so why change?
As we approach the 85th and a half minute.
Good cross. Can't find a head, and out of bounds for a goal kick. Yeah, you see several times where Ghosts had the ball deep in their territory, they're not getting pressed, and then they strike the ball, 40 yards down the pitch into an attacking pass. Not high percentage when you're in a position where you don't want to give up the ball, but they're able to execute. Melver turning back and all the way back to the goalkeeper. And again, nobody within 40 yards of him, and he makes a 40-yard pass. But losing out on this one. Ball in. Shot. Nice save. First shot on goal for the Brevard here in the second half. Great opportunity. Just couldn't capitalize. And now pressure being applied. Will that open them up in the counter, though? Calderon chopping trees there. And here we go. Getting forward now. There's that same seam in the carpet that got Cam earlier. And not offsides. Cam and Kwame were both keeping him on, and nicks that one pass for a goal. Third goal of the game. And that from Angel M. Just, again, little quick passes, just working it right through the defense. And Brevard kind of stopped. They thought offsides, and he was 4 yards onside. And you can't stop. You got to keep playing. And that little delay may have cost him that goal. Wasn't much on the shot, but I don't know if Aiden ever even saw it. He just kind of nicked it right past the defender and into the far corner. So Angel with a goal, Pedro with 2. 3-0 is the scoreline. Gosa over Brevard SC. Calderon out to Franco. Franco playing forward here. Nicked away. That's out of bounds. Don't see a call yet, but Brevard gets the throw. Angel gets to this one first. Nicks it by Cam Jorgensen, and he's got a free shot here. Takes it, and right in the top corner. What a goal. And poor pass back, and Angel was reading it all the way and driving on Cam Jorgensen as that ball's coming to him. But, wow, what a shot. I mean, he's 20 yards out and just drills it right into the top corner.
Bend it like who?
Not much bend in it. He put that one on a little bit of bend, a lot of laser. So back underway, now 4-0. Abreu out to Gene. Driving. 2 on his back. Abreu back to Calderon. Calderon's got 2 on that far side. 2 against 1. Overcooks that one. And Ussl will take over there on the far side.
Brandon, I would have to respectfully disagree with the comment. We've only had two players trip over that chunk.
It's the same spot though. I wouldn't say they've messed up our game, but it's taken 2 players out. What appears to be a little spot in the turf, that same spot twice. It's hard to tell what it looks like, but it sure looked like Gene and Cam both went down in the exact same spot.
And I'm not disagreeing there, but,
Didn't change the game.
Right. Ghost has been running in that exact spot and hasn't been tripped up. So.
Yep. The second time we've seen a throw taken from lane 1 of the track. And that one headed wide. Gosa keeping it in. Now fouls. Caleb gets a piece holding on to Kwame Asante, and then a little extracurricular shove afterwards.
As we're about into the 91st minute.
And yellow card shown to both players there. First card of the game. It's been a really good, clean game. I mean, just very technical. Yeah, first card of the game, but 2 cards shown.
Oh, no.
There was a card earlier?
In the first half.
I missed that.
Remember there was a foul occurred in the attacking half of Brevard SC, and player pretty much got the call for arguing.
Oh, okay, I missed the call there. Streaking down the far side, but that ball goes out of bounds before Smalls can nick it with his head back in, and Gosa takes over, and I got to think that we're getting close here to 3 blasts. Although I don't see the referee looking at the watch or having the whistle in his mouth. Nice touch into Nas, goes over him, but now it continues the run. I mean, that's something they've been doing all night too. Every time a pass goes by, they keep their run going forward. And that's how they've created so many chances. They just keep advancing forward every time they pass the ball through the midfield. And as a defender, a lot of times you kind of take a break as your man releases the ball, and as they keep moving forward, now he's 2 steps beyond you, and now you got to play catch-up and chase. So Brevard driving on the far side, heavy touch. Strike from Gene, deflected, and is it going to get to it? Nope, corner kick. So corner kick for Brevard as Gene's shot takes a deflection. Looks like another yellow card shown there to Melverick. Must have said something to somebody. It's an opportunity to get one here for Brevard. Far post. Headed in and booted out. And now you see Gosa, black shirts, just getting forward. Left foot from Nas. Obviously not as good as the right, and there's 3 blasts on the whistle, and that's the game, folks. Gosa with a 4-0 win over Brevard SC. 2 goals from Pedro, 2 goals from Angel M. Great game for both teams, and Brevard comes up short, and Gosa is your USSL champion from the Southeast Conference. So congratulations to Gosa. Well deserved, hard fought win there. Champions.
Absolutely, and look, not a bad season for Brevard SC either.
Not at all.
You made it to the championship game, and just ran into the speedsters that were Gosa. Congratulations to Gosa. Thank you, everyone who's been following along Brevard SC, both from USSL and USL2. Matt and I have had a blast. Matt, as always, it's
Absolutely.
always fun working with you.
Likewise, man.
So, if haven't got your fill of sports yet, one page above us is Mouthing Off Sports Talk for all local and national sports news. For Matt Shelton, for owner Mr. Woodson, head coach Adrian Moreno, I'm Caleb Brown. Have a great night, everybody, and let's continue to make it a sports night.